Space riddle. A space scientist incinerated in his Tesla as a UFO whistleblower found dead.
This is the generation of black people that our grandmothers warned us about, that these are the people that won't have God. This is the generation of black people that don't know Allah, no.
So there's been a lot more information coming out about that plane that tragically crashed in Brazil. So far, a total of 62 bodies have been recovered from the plane crash wreckage, but it's been determined that 8...
Orlando Brown just put his life in major danger after he exposed the humiliation ritual happening at the Met Gala once the cameras turned off. It's long been rumored that the Met Gala isn't just a charity event.
All right, welcome back to the Foundation. A1 Luck here, and you tuned into The Awakening, a channel where each one teach one and the truth shall set you free. Now, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. And remember, everything in this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Now, without further ado, let's get woke, people.
Space riddle. A space scientist incinerated in his Tesla as a UFO whistleblower found dead. Tonight, the toll rising to 14. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us.
A number of them have gone missing with the same circumstances, leaving Apple Watch and phone behind.
He's literally a walking hard drive of highly classified information, so the FBI is going to be very, very interested in determining what exactly has happened to him.
How can these not be connected? How does a young scientist, without telling family or friends, decide he's going on a trip, get into his Tesla without his wallet or iPhone, like so many of the other missing or dead scientists, leaving home on foot, leaving behind all ID, wallets, cell phones, tracking devices, any sort of identification that links them to the military or to their research. This young scientist, Joshua LeBlanc, leaves home and suddenly crashes into a guardrail, and both he and his vehicle are totally incinerated. Joining us an all-star panel, but first, straight out to Stephanie Harlow, co-host Crime Weekly, and you can find her at Stephanie Harlow. Stephanie, thank you for being with us tonight. What happened to Joshua LeBlanc? First of all, tell me about him. What was he studying? Let me guess, anti-gravity, jet propulsion, what?
Yes, jet propulsion. He lived and worked in Huntsville, Alabama, which is kind of the epicenter of a lot of these missing people, including Dr. Ning Lee, who was missing for a while but ended up being killed, and also Amy Eskridge. So the University of Huntsville is very, very focused on NASA, jet propulsion, anti-gravity research. That's the epicenter of where all that stuff is happening. But he did work with some pretty high security clearance.
Very quickly, I want to go to John Nance, former supervisory special agent, FBI, assigned to D.C. and Miami. Got a question for you, John Nance. Explain the significance of anti-gravity research. As a layperson, the best way I can describe it is we obey the laws of gravity. We understand them. Anti-gravity research as it relates to aircraft of any type means that an aircraft could go up, down, to the side, tangential, any way it wished, and at speeds unlike anything we understand. So how valuable is it? Did I capsulize it correctly?
It's not one person. It's not 23 people. It's 40 people that got off the boat in St. Helena. And the only reason why we know this information is because a Spanish passenger on the ship thought it was important and contacted the news. The ship didn't report it, and the World Health Organization didn't report it. And of those 40 people, 7 of them are in the United States. We've got reports that they're in California, Arizona, 2 in Georgia, Virginia, and possibly Texas. And the woman that we had originally heard about, who took the flight from St. Helena to Johannesburg in South Africa, who took the commercial flight, she attempted to get on another flight. And the flight attendant that helped her get off the plane, she's now in the hospital. And they're testing her for the virus. And they're still planning on bringing this ship into port. They have it set to go to Tenerife on a isolated port where the EU and the World Health Organization are going to be evaluating people. And if they're not showing symptoms, they're going to allow them to be repatriated home. And we don't know what that looks like. Are they going to have them wear PPE? Are they going to be escorted? Are they going to be put on commercial flights with the rest of us? Spain has said that any of their people that aren't showing symptoms are going to be taken to a military hospital. They just keep saying close personal contact. But that woman was not on the plane that long. 8 other people that were on the ship were not kissing each other. And they keep talking about the large outbreak of 34 people from 2018 to 2019. There has been 101 cases of Hantavirus in Argentina since June 2025. That's the largest number of cases, double what they had last year. Maybe it's the PTSD, but I keep flashing back to COVID when they were telling us that we didn't need to wear masks. And then they came out and said that the reason why they told us that was because they didn't want us to hoard supplies because they knew they didn't have enough for first responders, doctors, nurses, people in the hospital. Hopefully we'll get more information today.
Listen to me. Listen to me. There's nobody on this damn fucking cruise. Nobody. They're fucking lying. They're gonna start something and it's gonna be really, really bad for all of us. Now listen, the guy that's recording, he goes inside this ship and there's nobody in this cruise but him, okay? Listen, and I'm telling you why they're gonna start it. The World Cup is coming. A lot of people are going to be around the US, Canada, and Mexico. And they're going to start with this shit and it's going to spread like wildfire, you guys. Like wildfire. This is a man-made fucking virus. It's 40% deadly, okay? So they started it. They fucking started. This shit's gonna happen again. Another fucking pandemic. There's nobody in that fucking cruise. Now listen, nobody in that fucking cruise. This shit is fake.
Alright, y'all, the first clip. Another scientist going again, man. That's crazy. Like, that is crazy. Another one. And the same way, in the same form, in the same fashion. Basically, he left his phone, he left everything, went without it, and crashed and burnt up in his Tesla. How ironic. But yeah, let me know how y'all feel about that, man. This is getting out of hand, y'all. Let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section. Remember, everything in the video for entertainment and educational purposes only, all right? And the second clip is even more wild because 28 members of a Disney cruise ship got arrested for child, like what? 28 members of a Disney cruise was arrested. Like, wow. It just gets more insane, people. This is out of control. And this is no way being broadcasted in the limelight for everybody to see what's really happening. Instead, the other cruise ship thing is going on. But let me know how y'all feel about that, because it's crazy, man. And the third clip is basically, was it more people infected than what they saying? Or is it just the 3 people or whatever they say of this Hantavirus, you know? Because they could, they could be like they always do. They never say what's really going on. They probably just released it on that. They probably did. Well, yeah. But yeah, in the fourth clip, man said they're faking, so they could be like, this the thing I was getting at too, like, it could be, this could all be hearsay, and then here comes CV part 2, if you know what I mean. Like, it's the whole thing that could be going on. Yeah, I think it's for real, that this is all like them getting it out there. This is how they get it out there. They release them, they bring the cruise ship back, they send everybody home, and before you know it, more and more cases start popping up. Boop, 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 boop. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section.
Okay, we are all over this story for you. Breaking this morning, Dutch authorities say a flight attendant who was in touch with a woman who died from Hantavirus in South Africa has been admitted to a hospital after showing symptoms. There are also new reports that some of the Americans who were on board that ship plagued by an outbreak for days have returned back home. Well, now there's growing worry that they may have brought the rare and deadly virus back with them. Nick's here with the latest on this story. Nick, officials in several states are now monitoring this entire situation.
Absolutely, Margaret. They're doing what they call contact tracing. They want to make sure that anyone who is on this ship is not taking that virus anywhere with them without being traced. While the CDC tries to tamp down public fears, at least 3 state health departments are keeping tabs on people who were just on board the MV Hondias. The New York Times reports that California, Georgia, and Arizona state health departments are each monitoring residents who were on that beleaguered ship. Right now, however, the 2 people in Georgia are not showing any symptoms. Those reports come after 3 people were evacuated off the ship on Wednesday, including the ship's doctor. There have been 3 confirmed hantavirus cases on board, with 5 more suspected. 3 passengers have died. The ship, with nearly 150 people still on board, is expected to dock in Spain's Canary Islands in a few days, where the remaining passengers and crew will be evaluated. In the meantime, Marky, those still on board are being asked to social distance, sanitize their hands, and isolate in their rooms as much as possible.
I still can't imagine being on board this ship for any of this. So, Nick, what's all being done to ensure the virus doesn't spread off that ship to land into other communities now?
Yeah, Marky, they want to tamp down public fears, right? As we mentioned, several state health agencies are monitoring the situation here at home, but doctors say for the most part, people really don't have anything to worry about.
The only documented cases where it looked like there might be human-to-human spread were very close contacts, husband and wife, parent and child, people who lived in very close proximity to one another.
And on Tuesday, that sentiment was echoed in a statement by the CDC's acting director, who said, quote, "The risk to the American public is very low," adding that the virus is only spread by close contact with symptomatic carriers. Meanwhile, the ship's crew and passengers will be examined in Spain before being sent to their home countries. The 14 Spanish passengers on board will then quarantine in a military hospital in Madrid before being allowed to return to their communities. Other countries have said they will isolate or monitor passengers when they return home. The World Health Organization is set to give an update around 9 a.m. Eastern this morning. And of course, Marky, we will follow that and bring you the latest.
Yeah, we'll be tuned in, but praying for safety and health for all involved. Nick, thank you so much.
So there's been a lot more information coming out about that plane that tragically crashed in Brazil. So far, a total of 62 bodies have been recovered from the plane crash wreckage. But it's been determined that 8 different cancer doctors were on the plane that crashed. They were on their way to a conference. Now, initially, about 15 doctors were scheduled to be on the flight, but 7 of them changed to an earlier departure that day. Those doctors were traveling to Sao Paulo to attend the SBTMO 2024 Cancer and Vaccine Conference. One of the individuals said that there was a monitor showing him the wrong gate, and that there were like 10 people sitting there realizing they were in the wrong place. And when they ran up to try to get passes to go to the right gate, they said, "Sorry, you're too late, but you're gonna have to reschedule your flight." 2 of the individuals that were on the plane have already been identified, and they're saying that they were the pilot and the co-pilot. Now, the twin-engine turboprop, which was built by aviation firm ATR, was flying from Cascavel in southern Parana State to Sao Paulo. Now, they've recovered the black boxes from the aircraft, and the Brazilian Air Force said that they plan to publish a preliminary report within an estimated 30 days. According to Flight Radar 24 website, the plane flew for about an hour at 17,000 feet until 1:21 p.m. when it began losing.
Orlando Brown just put his life in major danger after he exposed the humiliation ritual happening at the Met Gala once the cameras turned off. It's long been rumored that the Met Gala isn't just a charity event, as these celebrities claim, but now we have receipts to back it up. I mean, what kind of charity event requires the attendees to pay over $75,000 just to attend, wear the most demonic-styled clothes, and doesn't allow any cameras at the actual gala? Mind you, you have celebrities and influencers literally begging and doing just about anything to make Anna Wintour happen just so they would get an invite. The last time I checked, people weren't that happy to give their money away to charity like this. And why does it seem like this one particular event is the only gala these devil-worshipping celebrities attend? Unless, of course, there's more to it. and the whole charity thing is just a front to cover it up. Now, ritualistic gatherings like this by the elites aren't anything new. They've long been speculated about for a long time, and even depicted in a lot of movies. But as usual, people think everything is just a conspiracy theory until it actually turns out it's not. People called conspiracy theorists crazy when they said these celebrities were worshipping Satan and allegedly consuming other humans as a form of sacrifice. But guess what? The Epstein files got released a few months ago, and it flat out confirmed this to be true. They weren't eating just anyone. They were specifically mistreating and eating little people.
Familiar with the Hantavirus, Agent Mulder? Yeah, it was a deadly virus spread by field mice in the southwestern United States several years ago. According to the newspaper, FEMA was called out to manage an outbreak of the Hantavirus. Are you familiar with what the Federal Emergency Management Agency's real power is? FEMA allows the White House to suspend constitutional government upon declaration of a national emergency. Think about that. What is an agency with such broad sweeping power doing managing a small viral outbreak in suburban Texas? You're saying it wasn't such a small outbreak? No. I'm saying it wasn't the Hantavirus. Well, what was it? What was it? When we were young men in the military, your father and I were recruited for a project. They told us it was biological warfare, a virus. What killed those men? What killed them, I won't even write about. We have no context for what killed those men, or any appreciation of the scale at which it'll be unleashed in the future. A plague? The plague to end all plagues, Agent Mulder. A silent weapon for a quiet war. The systematic release of an indiscriminate organism, for which the men who will bring it on still have no cure. They've been working on this for 50 years. While the world have been fighting crooks and commies, these men have been secretly negotiating a planned Armageddon. Negotiating with whom? I think you know. The timetable has been set. It'll happen on a holiday when people are away from their homes. The president will declare a state of emergency, at which time all government, all federal agencies will come under the power of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA.
Yeah, here we go. On the more outbreaks, and the more. Here we go. It's gonna be states being. I'm telling you, man. This seems like part 2 for real. Like, I don't know, but hopefully it don't get to that level. But it really feels like it. So everybody ahead of time should probably be wearing masks and stuff like that from now, so they don't catch this Hanta that's going around or whatever it is. Who knows? But yeah, we need to prepare from now. The second clip is plane crash in Brazil. 62 died, man. RIP to every last one of them. 62 people, and the crazy part about that is a few doctors was on board. It's getting wild. On top of these scientists, now they're gonna go for the doctors, but they've been doing these things anyway. But let me know how y'all feel in the comment section about that, because that one is wild. And what y'all feel about the Met Gala? You know, that's basically what it is. Do you think the Met Gala is really some type of ritual in some way? Do y'all think the Met Gala is basically, that's what it is? Because everyone that's being led in the direction of the music where it is rituals, and every last one of these people is attending the Met Gala. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section. And last and final clip was an old X-Files clip, basically showing us, you know, the things that they planned beforehand. You understand? Viruses, outbreak, and shit like that. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section.
This is not coronavirus. This is a very different virus. We know this virus. Hantaviruses have been around for quite a while, but I want to be unequivocal here. This is not SARS-CoV-2. This is not the start of a COVID pandemic. This is an outbreak that we see on a ship. There's a confined area. We have 5 confirmed cases so far. We completely understand why these questions are coming, and we are trying to provide all of the information that we can. That's why we're having a press conference here to give accurate information, and we're grateful for all of those out there who are asking these types of questions. But this is not the same situation we were in 6 years ago. It doesn't spread the same way, like coronaviruses do. It's very different. It's that close, intimate contact that we've seen. And most hantaviruses don't transmit between people at all. Most hantaviruses are transmitted from rodents or their feces or their saliva in their droppings to people. And only this one particular virus, the Andes virus, which has been identified here, we've seen some human-to-human transmission. And again, I want to reiterate, the actions that are being taken on board are precautionary to prevent any onward spread. And so there's a lot that is being done right now to be able to try to minimize the risk even further.
What makes unique here is similarity crowded in a confined space. We had a similar situation in Argentina in 2018-2019 when a symptomatic individual attended a social gathering. So that led to a lot of people getting infected. We are in a similar situation right now, a cluster in a confined space with close contact. Does that mean the rest of the world, this disease will spread? We had that outbreak in 2018 and it led only 34 cases. We may have similar cases from there. So I just want to show that if we follow public health measures and the lessons we learned from Argentina now is shared across all countries, what needs to happen in contact tracing, isolation, we can break this chain of transmission, and this doesn't need to be a large epidemic.
Western civilization is based on the white man's culture, and the white man's culture comes from Europe. For 1,000 years before the Roman Empire ever existed, and it still exists today in Europe, was a whole system of government, religion, law, etc. was already established before Rome ever came about. Was called the Druid system. Druids, well, they were the lawyers, the attorneys, they were the judges, the religious leaders, they were everything. The doctors, the medical, everything was Druid in Europe. One of the most important symbols in the Druid religion was a magic wand, like the conductor of an orchestra. He waves his magic wand, and you had better dance to the tune because he's the boss. So the magic wand, like Merlin the magician, magic wands were always made out of the wood of a holly tree. It's made out of Hollywood. So once you understand, it's the magic of Hollywood that's orchestrating the whole world to dance to a new tune.
Wow. So where does that leave us?
It leaves you in a world of trouble. If you are ignorant, ill-informed, and unread, you need to open your mind and discover for the first time that law, courts, education, it's all part of a system. You need to begin to open your mind, understand how the world really works.
This is the generation of black people that our grandmothers warned us about, that these are the people that won't have God. This is the generation of black people that don't know Allah, no God, and they'll rule by their flesh, by what they feel. So this is the generation who worship the devil. Well, what do you mean by that? They worship idols. They're idol worshipers. Jay-Z, Beyonce. So they have the spirit of these entertainers, because the entertainers have always been Satan's power and tool. That's what he was when he left heaven, over music. He was an angel over music, and he was draped in, if you know the story, he was draped in diamond. Looked just like the rapper. That's what Lucifer looked like before he was kicked out of heaven. He was so powerful, he took over 1/3 of the angels with him to go against God. And they hear, why you think music make you feel how you feel? Why you think even in the church they say if you want to activate God, start singing and praising and worshiping, it's no different.
Music is definitely
you activate that shit, nigga. That's why niggas say put this on, homie. Nigga, we had drive-by music. We got pimping music. We got freaking music. We got making love music. We got killing music. That's the spirit to move the soul, your mind, your will, and your emotions.
I'll never trust the billionaire, ever.
Just because they're a billionaire?
Yeah. You gotta have some dirt underneath your fingers, and you don't get there doing everything morally 100% right. I would never want to be a billionaire. Call me lame. You can only spend so much at a time. You can't take the rest with you. You're gonna leave it back for your kids, and who knows what they're gonna do with it. They could smoke it all away. We all watched Mike Tyson go bankrupt after making like $300 million, and he had nothing at the end. So who knows what anybody's gonna do with money. The guy who owns Amazon, you would sit down and have coffee with him? I wouldn't want to. I think the dude's a douche. I don't like nothing about that guy. Just because he has $1 billion, that means nothing to me. People who praise billionaires, I don't care. I know what a 9mm can do to a billionaire, just like it can to a poor person. You know, that $1 billion is not going to stop a 9mm, a 22, or a baseball bat to the back of the head. Still regular at the end of the day. It might buy you security. We watched a billionaire get shot right through his ear on national TV running for president. So it doesn't mean nothing to me. Just because you have all the money doesn't mean anything to me at all.
Alright, first clip, more update on the virus. You know, but this thing is in the airways now. This is all that's on the news, and it's the Hanta. So we know what to expect sooner or later. But just prepare for the worst, just in case, y'all. You know. And the second clip basically is a man saying like, basically, the white man system come from Europe or something like that, but certain people don't look at the overall system that's above the white man system and all that. It's basically the elites. This is where the whole systematic things come from. Like it's just handed down to be continued, or they got to find certain wicked people to continue that. But other than that, that's basically what it is. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section. And the third clip is basically, Charleston White saying this generation, it's a lot of like, these kids don't know God in this generation. It's a lot of them just walking around not knowing, they basically worshiping idols and these rappers and these actors, and they not basically have no relationship with God. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section. And the fourth clip is basically the ex-military saying that he don't care to be a billionaire, and he's basically saying he's an ex-military high-ranking officer. So he's basically saying he don't care to be a billionaire, and he's basically saying that he knows for a fact that once you become on a certain level, that is always going to be dirt under your fingernails. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section.
They've got crashed UFOs. The one in Korea that's so big they had to build a building around it because they couldn't move it.
Right.
I want to know what that is.
Rumors say there is a UFO buried in a South Korean mountain, so huge they built a building directly over it.
There is reportedly this object in another country that's so big it can't be moved, and a massive structure has been built around it to hide its location.
A facility outside Seoul, South Korea, where there was a huge extraterrestrial vehicle that they had downed with apparently some type of electronic warfare system. They had to carve out a huge part of the mountain just to contain this object because it was too big to move to any other site, and that it is still there.
You think it's going to come to light? One day. One day, yeah. And it's really interesting because it's absolutely gobsmacking that it's being kept as a secret.
Congressman Burleson went on the record, confirming he is actively fighting for clearance to travel overseas and physically inspect this giant object.
It's reportedly an object that is not in this country, that is so large it cannot be moved, that they've built an entire building around it. And that's one of the locations that I'm requesting.
I also know there are others that have been brought down in other locations, and if they're over a certain size, they're very, very hard to move. Imagine if they're bigger than a football field, and you're not going to put that on a semi, so it becomes logistically impossible to move it.
And Burleson's already hunting down other crash retrieval sites.
I have been trying to get access to even locations that reportedly have craft that are being reverse engineered, that are even close to Washington, D.C.
He just bypassed normal hearings, secured White House clearance, and physically inspected a highly restricted naval air station in Maryland. He went looking for the exact hangar where Lockheed Martin allegedly tried to hide recovered materials.
Lockheed Martin, the narrative that they had in their possession, some material that they were going to be transferring over to Bigelow Airspace, and that the CIA director at the time quash that. That's a specific narrative that I'm looking into and trying to get details, because if I can prove some of those details, then that, even if I'm not able to get my hands on the material itself, if I can prove some of the details of that story are true, then we know that we can continue and focus in on that.
The craft was moved, but Burleson confirmed the infrastructure was still there. He found the purpose-built private runway and a massive crane designed specifically to transfer off-world tech before the CIA intervened. Now, insiders say UFO investigations just jumped from the absolute bottom of the government's priority list straight into the top 10. The walls are closing in on the biggest secret in human history. Do you think Congress is actually about to blow this wide open? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
Annie-made Lisa.
This is General William Sullivan with an emergency message. Outbreak of the deadly Pandora virus is spreading rapidly. All ships must remain at sea until further. Humanity must endure.
They're buying it. They're buying it. Squirt, squirt.
Our attempts to contact the mainland have met with nothing but static. It appears we have no choice. To avoid the virus, we must remain at sea indefinitely. Good morning, everyone! Once we reach our exciting and hopefully virus-free destination, romantic Antarctica, his delicious buffet features fresh seagull and hull-scraped barnacle.
Mankind was warned not to run near the pool! Mankind did not listen! The virus is his reward! Oh! Worthless. Worthless. Worthless.
Hey guys, can you believe how awesome this is? If it wasn't for this virus thing, we'd all be back at our old sucky lives.
Passengers on this ship could be the last people on Earth. Like monks during the Dark Ages, it's up to the Kid Zone elite to make a record of human culture.
Can't anybody enjoy their forever vacation?
General, it's worse than we thought. The virus is getting bigger.
Bart, how could you? There is no virus. Bart faked the whole thing with a DVD. Excuse me, Cruise Director Prittis. My son has something to tell you. It was all a hoax. There's no virus. But there's a chapel on this ship, and in that chapel there's a book, and it says, "Judge not, lest ye..." No.
My booze and cologne!
70 different species, and probably more. But yes, as odd as it sounds, there are little green men. That's not the ones we usually see, though. We see the little gray ones. They're about 4.5 feet tall. And we see the ones that are called the Nordics. They're about 7 feet tall, look like us, but they're invariably blonde hair and blue-eyed. They're one of the species that we have on ice. Genetic experiments.
Where they came from and why they're here.
Well, the whole thing started in July 2nd, 1947. That was the first crash.
First crash of an alien spaceship.
Of an alien spaceship. July 6th is when they recovered it and sent it to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. July 7th is when they held the press conference and told the people it was a weather balloon, which the press bought hook, line, and sinker. September of that year, President Truman established MJ-12, and the purpose of that was to study the saucers and cover up the existence of UFOs.
And you say we recovered alien bodies from that incident, right?
4 from that particular crash, yes.
And what'd they do with them?
They autopsied them. Dr. Detlef Bronk was the chief surgeon, so to speak. He was the one that named them EBEs. And that stands for extraterrestrial biological entities. And we captured 3 live EBEs. They were numbered in their order of capture: EBE-1, EBE-2, and EBE-3.
Where did we capture? Where did this happen?
In different crashes. EBE-1 lived with an Air Force colonel between 1949 and 1952. The EBEs are kept in an electromagnetic facility called a YY-2. It was designed by a Dr. Eric Wang, who worked directly for Dr. Kissinger, who has been in this cover-up since the very beginning. The reason they had to create an electromagnetic facility is the fact that the EBEs are so advanced. They're at least 500 million years advanced from us, and probably more. They can move by thought.
Move by thought.
And they can also disappear. But they can't move by thought through electromagnetic facilities. So they built this facility. There was two, one in Los Alamos and one either at Edwards or up at the test site.
At Groom Lake, Nevada.
At Groom Lake. Now there's still one EBE still living, EBE3, and there is a videotape that eventually is going to be released to the public, and it's an interview with him.
So I take it aliens took over our future, right? So we're human. How?
We found out that their digestive system is atrophied. They can't eat through their mouth anymore. You know how they eat? Well, these cattle mutilations, they take the hormones and the enzymes from those cattle and they spread it on their skin, and their skin absorbs the nutrients and then excretes the waste back through their skin.
Yeah, never heard this one before, but UFO so big over there in Korea somewhere that it can't be moved, so basically they had to build structure or build it around it to hide it. Has anybody ever heard about this? Let me know in the comment section. But god damn, how big and how heavy, as to all these big machines that can lift whatever, and helicopters and whatever, how heavy must this aircraft be that you cannot lift it or move it? It has to stay right there, so you must build a structure or whatever around it to hide it. OMG. Let me know how y'all feel about that one in the comment section, man. And then basically the second clip is basically, I don't know, whoever made The Simpsons, man. I mean, I don't get it, but they probably just always telling us ahead of hand anyways. But another prediction of the virus, you know. And then, but this on The Simpsons basically about faking the virus, you know. So the in-betweens, could this be a fake to really start something real? But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section, because The Simpsons is always predicting something. And man, that's basically saying it's over 70 species of extraterrestrials out there, you know. There's only certain ones they say we might run across and hear about, see, but it's over 70 species. What do y'all feel? Well, how many species y'all feel, or do y'all believe there's over 70 species of extraterrestrials out there? Let me know how y'all feel in the comment section.
Or we're going to come to our senses and realize money was created to control us. Voting systems never work and never will work. The most difficult part about this is this. When they program this is the most vital problem we have. Once they program this, it is damn near impossible for you to escape this mental prison, because the things they taught you is all that you know. That is dangerous. When you allow your enemy to teach you what love is, what love ain't, what survival is, what survival ain't, business and all these different, things that they came up with or stole. They stole it all, but they taught us this shit in school. How can your enemy teach you how to overthrow him? It don't make sense, right? So just imagine the situation we in mentally. A lot of shit people participate in, they don't know why they participate in it, because it was taught to. You was taught to get up and go to work every day, leaving your family, your one only life. Your children is in a classroom with strangers, teaching them shit, prepping them to be condemned later on in life, or to be a slave later on in life. You working away from your family. Then you got these shows on TV, the music, breaking families up. Women want a man that's this tall, all this money, you got a big penis between his legs, or whatever the case may be. All this shit comes from what you see on TV and what you see on these shows and these influential people they're getting behind to push narratives to us. Do you understand how the brain works? You don't. Majority of people don't. Do you know what the left brain do compared to the right brain? Do you understand the curriculums they create, the commercials they write, craft it carefully and attack your left brain or your right brain. Do you know this? You fighting a war, and most of y'all don't even know that this war exists. What can we do? What can we do? What we gonna do? You can't do a damn thing with a soldier or a soldierette. You cannot put a soldier on the front row of a war that they don't even know exists. How can somebody solve a problem that they don't even know exists? And until people understand that, ain't shit gonna change. You're gonna continue to be trapped. You're gonna continue to participate in the same old bullshit. And remember, this is just a game. This shit ain't come down from God. God ain't told us to do this. They did. So fuck that game.
You know, we're different from the president. We're very discreet, reptilian, cold-blooded. These are the races we have to win. Others are winning the whole country. 10.
You know, of course I was going to say that, but...
Poor baby.
Yeah, she's really, really committed to that. It's really sad.
No, I'm not a poor baby. I'm more reptilian, cold-blooded, and go in to win the election.
We're going to take a short break. I want to talk to you more about President Biden and some other things.
Thank you.
What do you mean Bank of England warned their people to prepare for economic chaos sparked by aliens? What did I miss? The Bank of England says to plan for a financial crisis triggered by aliens. What? I'm sorry, what's the angle here?
Está en ese árbol. Es muy grande. No es un ave. Es demasiado grande. Mira. Mira. Eso voló. Eso no era un pájaro.
The first clip is basically, I like the first clip, man. He couldn't state it no better than that, basically, man. I know a lot of people probably won't agree, but he stated it just right, man. But it's time that a lot of us, I don't know how, but we do need to come to our senses and realize what he's saying. And, he said a lot. It's not much to say. The way he put it, he said a lot. We got to come to our senses, though, because we are being controlled. We are being told what, we know what it is already, but like he said, it's what's to be done afterwards, But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section. The second clip is this creepy lady playing around, or she ain't even playing around. She making it seem like she playing around, but she telling the truth, talking about she a reptilian and all this. Sometimes they always put their plans out of view, but they out there. They out there. I wish I had some glasses to see who's who and what's what, because we really need to see who's who and what's what, because they walk amongst us, y'all. Let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section, man. And the little orb thing going on, I don't know if that's AI or not, but the red lights, red beams, but see, there's the thing too, we can't forget about it. It's always a Project Blue Beam out there, so it's always things to put out there that they gonna put out there themselves to make it look like something else. So sometimes we gotta really look and see what's going on. But yeah, let me know how y'all feel about that one in the comment section. And Bank of England, the girl saying basically they have something basically that's gonna say like, if it's ever alien invasion or something like that, like they gotta prepare their bank account, something could happen to their bank account revolving around it. Oh my God. Well, they getting ready, y'all. That's all I'm gonna say. They getting ready, man. Now, I don't know what the hell was that strange bird looking man bird, but I don't know. Do anybody know what that was? Or is that even a real clip right there? Because I'm not too sure. But the way it flew off the tree, it kind of looks real to me. So I'm not sure. But let me know in the comment section, was that a real clip, y'all? And in 1913, for the last clip, man, the Rockefellers bought all the herbal schools in 1913. I got to dive deeper into that to see if that's true. And close all of them by 1925. Oh yeah, if so, you can see, you know, it's a reason for that, so they could bring about the rest of the stuff they feed us now. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section. Yeah, we reached the end of the video, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. And before we leave, I gotta leave y'all with a few words. Who can't hear must feel. Those that feels it knows it. And once you know better, you do better. And then the truth shall set you free. Like always, I'm out.